Hey guys, what's up? One question that a lot of fans probably have, in a sense, is well, one question a lot of people have. Sorry if that was the phone, I was just checking something there. The one question anybody has of MLP right now is since we're in season 8, and season 8 is basically a continuation and connected somewhat, if not mostly, to the movie. The question everybody has is, when are we going to see the movie characters? When are we going to see the pirates, Captain Sorrel and the pirates? When are we going to see Tempest Shadow? When are we going to see Princess Skystar, Queen Nova, Capper? And here's what I look at. I look at the fact that even though here's what I look at. We're going to see them, but we'll probably see them in the 9th season, which is potentially the final season. And the reason I say that, excuse me, but the reason I say that is because you got to look at it this way. They're being acknowledged. They're being acknowledged by the cast, by the characters, by the new characters. So in a sense, that these characters are going to show up eventually in the series. But the question is when and where. Sorry, my kid something there. But the question is going to be when and where. And like I said, I believe the most logical answer to that is going to be season 9. Why do I say that, you might ask? Well, I think the reason they got acknowledged and talked about here is to at least let you know that they are part of continuity. They are part of the show. They are part of the overall franchise. And when you take a look at some of the upcoming comics by IDW, you pretty much know that that's a fact, seeing as though one of the upcoming Friendship is Magic stories from IDW involves and features Tempest Shadow. Excuse me. It involves Tempest Shadow going back to the Crystal Kingdom. Or the Crystal Empire, I should say. So it centers around her, and you have to look at Friendship is Magic, the comic book, as being sort of like an episode itself of the animated series, even though the writers of both sides have said there's a connection, but not much of a connection. Take that as you will. Excuse me. But like I said, take that as you will. But, again, the question is, they're mentioned, but why aren't we seeing them? And I briefly talked about this, and I'll talk about it again. I talked about this in a video where I talked about and mentioned I asked the question, who should the friendship map, cutie map, call upon next for a friendship mission that hasn't had that opportunity? And, I mentioned Tempest, I mentioned Skystar and all them. So, to me, that's still possible. Those characters are still possibilities. But here's why we haven't seen them, why they're not in the current season. It's because, in my opinion, right now, Hasbro and DHX have and currently are auditioning, and if not, have and currently are recording the lines for these characters for season 9, but they're not using the celebrity voices that they used in the movie. They're not using Christine Chenoweth for Skystar. They're not using Emily Blunt as Tempest Shadow. They're not using what's her name? Uzu Aduba as Queen Nova. They're not using Ty Diggs as Capper. They're not using what's her name? Zoe Saladina. Excuse me. Not using Zoe Saladina as Captain Sereno. They're not using them because they, financially, as far as the show goes, they could probably afford at least one, maybe two. but they can't afford them on a constant basis. So what they're going to do, if not have done already, in my opinion, is hire voice actors and actresses that sound very similar to the celebrity voices. They're going to hire, if not have hired, someone that sounds close to Emily Blunt's portrayal of Tempest Shadow. The same could be said with them hiring someone that sounds close to Christine Chenoweth's portrayal of Skystar. The same with Uzo's portrayal of Queen Novo. The same with Zoe's portrayal of Captain Sereno. Or Captain Sereno. They're going to basically bring, in my opinion, they're going to, if not have already brought in voice actors and actresses that sound similar to the celebrity ones to potentially voice these characters that we got introduced to in the movie. So that when these characters do finally show up in the series, and you know they're going to have to, inevitably, and in my opinion, it's going to probably be next season, if not the Christmas special, if they do it that way, you're going to have new voice actors and actresses behind them that are going to sound very identical, in a sense, to what the celebrity voices sounded like when they portrayed them in the movie. So in my opinion, the reason we are not seeing Tempest, the reason we have not seen Skystar, Novo, Captain Sereno, Capper, you name it, is because of the fact that you're going to have, because of the fact that right now, in my opinion, as we speak, they are working with and recording lines for these characters, for these very characters, for the 9th and possible final season, if not maybe the holiday special at the end of the year. But they're using voice actors and actresses that sound similar to the celebrity voices. That's what they're doing. That is what they are doing. Now, you might say, well, why would they do? Excuse me. Told you I'm getting over a bit of a cough. I do apologize. But you're probably going to ask, well, why would they do that? Why would they go and do that? Because it's something that not just Hasbro and DHX, but a lot of animation studios or television studios, movie studios in general have done in the past and in the present. In my coffee mug, get the mic there. But it's something that a lot of animation studios have done in the past and in the present. I'll give you an example. Probably the most prolific example, in my opinion, Transformers the movie, 1986. Transformers the movie had all these celebrity voices. Judd Nelson as Hot Rod Rodimus Prime. Robert Stack as Ultra Magnus. Leon Standard as Cup. Leonard Nimoy as Galvatron. You had all these voices. You had all these voices and all that. And you had all these celebrity voices. Eric Idle, for example, as Redcar. You had all these celebrity voices, but come the 3rd season, which is right after the movie, you didn't have them anymore. You didn't have them anymore because Hasbro and Toei Animation, or the animation studio in general, could not afford them. They could not afford them. Just popped a cough drop in my mouth. But the studios could not afford them. Even if they could, they couldn't afford them for the whole majority of the 3rd, if not 4th season. They couldn't do that. So what they did, and there are a few exceptions here, they recruited voice actors that sounded similar to the celebrity voices. They got someone that sounded similar to Judd Nelson as Rodimus. They got someone that sounded similar to Robert Stack as Ultra Magnus. They got someone that sounded similar to Eric Idle as Wreck-Gar. Now you might say, well, what about Galvatron? What happened there? Well, it sounds like they got Chris Latta to do the voice, or Frank Welker, I can't remember who, I gotta look at it. But the explanation, I think, continuity-wise, is when, at the end of the movie, when Rodimus tossed Galvatron out of Unicron and into space, that the velocity, obviously, that Rodimus threw him at, and the landing impacted maybe his vocal cords, and thus he went from sounding as Leonard Nimoy to sounding a little bit like a Starscream. Almost. Almost, I should say. Almost. The point is, though, and I think they even got someone that sounded similar to Leon Standard as Cup. The only ones they were able to, I'm assuming, the only ones they were able to regain, if you will, was John Machida, the guy that did the Micro Machine commercials and all that, and Susan Blue. As far as I know, they're the only ones they were able to retain, because obviously Susan Blue is a voice actress and a director and all that, so you didn't have to pay her too much. And John Machida, who was always known for just fast talking in Micro Machine commercials and stuff like that, you didn't have to worry about much with him either. So, yeah, there you go. Basically, you had... So, again, yeah, there you go. You basically had... you basically, at least bittersweetly, silver lining-wise, had two established movie voice actors back for the characters, but everyone else got replaced. And again, like I said, they replaced the celebrity voiced characters with those that sounded identical. And in the case of Galvatron, they kind of, I guess, in continuity had an explanation as to why his voice changed. But what I'm getting at, folks, and you're probably wondering, what does this have to do with what you're talking about? What I'm getting at is the same could be happening right now. The reason we have not seen Novo, Queen Novo, Princess Skystar, Tempest Shadow, Capper, Captain Sereno, is because Hasbro and DHX are probably currently, my opinion, currently working with new voice actors and actresses that sound similar to the celebrity voices to voice those characters. So when you eventually do see Tempest Shadow on the show, it's going to sound like it's Emily Blunt voicing her, but it's going to be someone different. Same with Skystar, same with Novo, same with Sereno, same with Capper. They're all going to sound like, hey, they got the celebrity voice actors. That's amazing. But then you'll look at the credits and be like, oh, wait a minute. That's not Ty Diggs. That's not Emily Blunt. That's not Christine Chenoweth. Of course not, because there'll be different voice actors and actresses that sound identical to the celebrity voices that were in the movie. So that's why you don't see the characters in the current season. It's because I think if we're going to see them again, it'll either be in the holiday Christmas special at the end of the year, or it'll be in the next season, and they're going to be voiced by voice actors and actresses that sound similar to celebrity ones. So, hopefully, I didn't sound like I was rambling there or anything, but hopefully that cleared up any kind of question people had about why aren't we seeing these movie characters that got introduced in the movie? Where are they? When are we going to see them? Hopefully, and again, it's my opinion. I could be wrong, but it's my opinion. Hopefully that answered some questions for you guys. So let me know what you think down below. Comment if you like. I'd like to hear from you. and I will talk to you all later. Peace out. God bless. I am done.